Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. Going live today. I thought I would make it a little bit different. Let's mix it up. It's a public holiday here in Australia, the Anzac Day public holiday. So essentially, I guess it's like your Memorial Day in the US. I don't know if you have any of those war Memorial Days. I'm sure you do in Europe. You guys in Asia. Anyway, let us know where you're tuning in from. I know it must be getting late for you guys in the US. Aussies, they're off. They're probably drinking or doing something like that. And the Kiwis, any Kiwis here? Cool. Just thought I would say hi, and you know what to do. You're here. We're going to talk about the Bitcoin crash. We're going to talk about the cryptocurrency bear market. I mean, look, I'm going to just talk about it initially that I don't think we're in a prolonged bear market. And I've said this many, many times on almost every other video. I feel like I'm getting to be a broken record. But that is the most commonly asked question I get on Instagram. So I'm doing almost daily Q&As. I'm at least answering questions every day. There's just so many of them, and I'm very appreciative of it. Obviously, I'm asking you guys, so you guys are responding. If you do want to get involved with the daily Q&As, Instagram link is down below, jason.pizzino. Beware of scammers. I'm here again today on YouTube doing something live. Just thought at least I can answer your questions here live. It's kind of like an easier thing than you're going here, there, and everywhere trying to ask questions in the comments section and getting all those scammers. So make sure you're here asking questions. I doubt the scammers are going to be here. So it's a nice, easy way. So subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you are returning, thank you very much. Hit the like button down below. Let's see where we're at. Remember the last videos that we've done, the last live streams we've done on the channel, we have been doing a lot of chart analysis. And I've been watching your questions over here on the side. So we're looking at charts. You guys are liking up the streams, getting us to, every 200 likes, we're going and doing extra different cryptos that you guys are mentioning in the comment section. All right. Twitter, big one. Go follow that as well. We're doing news over there. All right. I just want to go through the stream. Thank you very much. Letting everyone jump on board. We got 300 online so far. How are you doing? Very well. Hello to Perth. Hopefully last day of lockdown. Where are you guys getting locked down? That's awful. Perth. I see Germany, you guys are getting locked down again. It's just like never ending. The governments just keep repeating the cycle. Do you think correction is over? We're going to talk about that today. You panicked in your previous video that we are in a bear market. Look at us now. I don't know what that means. Was I panicked? I don't think so. When am I ever... People even say I don't have that much emotion in the videos. Well, they say I'm cool, calm, collected. Maybe I'm adding in the cool part. That's my words, not theirs. Mark, thank you. $5. Thanks for all you do, mate. Appreciate it. I'll just mention at the beginning, you guys don't need to give, what are these? Super chats. We're all here to chat and enjoy what's going on. But, it's appreciative as well. This is all finance channels. Do what we got to do. Did we just see a fake out on Bitcoin? Where are we talking about there? Do you mean the last hour or in the last week? Hello, hello, hello. Hit that like button. Thank you. Florida, US. No, he's calm as F. Yeah, I've got to keep these streams a little bit tamer as well. They like to demonetize the streams if there's any sort of swearing. I'm usually saying even just SHIT, they're demonetizing for that. Like, come on. This is ridiculous. You never look panicked. That's what I thought. Cool. Doge, what next? I don't think much is going to be happening on Doge, unfortunately. I think we're going a little further down. So, it's in the videos. I talk about that quite often. Thank you again. Let's crack into it. We'll get into some questions as well. We've got nearly 400 on the stream, 90 likes. Come on. If you're not over there, you're not clicking that button, what are you doing? BTC almost 52. Yeah, well... let's click that. Remember, we're talking about this bull market and bear market. We've looked at it on the charts. We looked at it on the channel on Sunday of last week. Hey, let me show you. Let me show you because I want to brag, because someone said I don't brag enough. And now's my time to shine. All right, here's the channel. We looked at crypto last week. Bitcoin, 19 minutes, not clickbait. Urgent Bitcoin update. Yes, I know that they look like clickbaity titles, but these things work. You don't put these things in titles. no one watches the video. And maybe it's not your fault. Maybe it's just YouTube not promoting the videos through. In this video, yeah, it was this video here. I looked at the signs. This is Gann swing analysis and Gann analysis. I am but a mere student that has put in a tiny bit of work in comparison to what W.D. Gann has put in over 100 years ago, 120 years ago he started. His analysis when they didn't have computers was absolutely hectic. The amount of stuff that he did. Anyway, long story short, in this video here, we're looking at signs of a top. And this is intermediate. I'm thinking it's an intermediate top. What does that mean? Local top, short-term top, not the ultimate bear market crash. Of course, it always goes without saying. I could be wrong. We could all be wrong. There's a lot of people saying that this is just an intermediate top. I tend to think it is. This was just looking at that being a local top because of the signs and the patterns that we were seeing in the chart. None of this sort of nonsense of like Bitcoin flashes this crazy sign. It's like, no, this is 120 years data used by Gann, who invented it 120 years ago. This is not just some bullshit. Damn it, stream's going to be demonetized. I mean, we've got to have an Aussie YouTube where you can just swear all you want. But essentially, this is the research that he did all those years ago, and it still works in the markets today, especially when you have a lot of data to research. Let me show you. Let's start over on Bitcoin so you can see that straight up, and then we'll move into a little more. Nice work, guys. 150 likes. Limit order at 45. Look, this is entirely up to you. I'm not putting limit orders in. The way I work, if you've watched the channel, I have alerts, and you see the alerts set on TradingView. And then when those go off, I go and look at the pattern on the chart at the time. All right, I'm showing you the, I've got ETH up. ETH, let's have a look at BTC. BTC, 52,000. All right. So remember that video was 1 week ago. So it's Sunday. So it's about 8 days ago. And that 8th day is going to be 1, 2, 3. It was just before this happened. It was just before this bar happened here. It was on its way down, right? That was the sign of the 1, 2, 3 days down. So we had an inside, and then 1, 2, we're on to our 3rd day down. As that broke, let me show you. As the 18th broke this low, I thought, all right, we've had 3 days down, and we haven't seen that yet in this market. We have not seen 3 days down. And this is probably one of the most important things to look at. And anyone can do these counts, right? But it depends on how much you've been studying the charts that you can see whether this is a real 3 day down break or if we're in some sort of intermediate 3 days down. So 3 days down within a bear pattern like this, it's not the same as it being at the top of a market after a parabolic move, after a whole lot of emotion in the market. It's a different market. So you have to apply the rules in different ways, especially when the markets are at different times. It's just different parts of the cycle. Then I went back and looked at these times here on the most recent video, probably a couple of days ago, where we're looking at how many days down we've seen. And that's what led me to think that maybe we'll have a few weeks off or a few months off. So it's a big time frame at the moment because we're in a peak of a market. We could be a lot shorter than what we've seen here. And I suspect we'll be in a shorter bear market than what we saw in 2019, 2020, because this wasn't breaking into new all-time highs. And so back here, this is 6 days down, about 8 days down, about 9 days down. Now I say 7 to 9 because it starts with a few inside days, and technically it is 9 days. 9 days straight down, right? And so the market just didn't recover from this area. It took quite some time. This is where a lot of people were doing some buying. I was definitely doing buying through here because I thought these were the lows. You got like an inverted head and shoulders here. We went to take off again, but then COVID happened, crashed the market, and we happened to bounce back pretty healthily after about 2 months, which is very solid. 2 months, just think about that, after we saw about a 60% loss from the highs. That's a pretty good recovery, pretty strong. And that's what led me to believe we were in a much stronger bull market when we couldn't keep breaking down. Now we find ourselves at, well, recently at all-time highs 2 weeks ago. and we've had 11 straight days down. In the other video a couple of days ago, where were we? Yeah, probably about 3 or so days ago, I put this up as well. Reversal in about 0 to 4 days, because we were at about 9 days down at that point. So the top, 9 days. Yeah, so that video, you can see that as well. We were right here. And generally you get 10 days, 7 to 10 days, and you will see a reversal. We saw a reversal after the 11th day. There's the 11th was yesterday, and we've just kicked back. So I'm not convinced yet that this is the low. However, if you're to get in at this point, you're doing pretty well. Look at that, from the top to getting in yesterday, 25% from the top. So you're saving yourself 25%. Now, I mentioned that my buy level was around that 46K level. I want to see what the pattern looks like before I'm putting in new money into Bitcoin. I'm happy to continue putting in new money into Ethereum and, like we're going to talk about today, Solana and that sort of network. But in terms of Bitcoin, I think Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin, which is why I'm happy to put money into Ethereum, because it's going to give me more Bitcoin anyway. But just for a bit of fun to continue with my plan, then I'm also happy with this area. And I've mentioned many times why this area. We've got a 50%. Let's do 1 week. We've got a 50% level here at 40. We have our, where am I bringing this down to? 40. This is a weekly low here. Okay, so about 40, 42 was about that 50% level. These old highs are around that 40. This 20-week moving average is at around 45.5K now. Last week was around 43.9. I feel like that's a little bit off for some reason. My data doesn't seem right, but that's what it's coming up with. So I'll use that for now, and I'll check it out later if it happens to be slightly off. But it's going to be around that price of mid 40Ks. This might be the first time that we test this 20-week MA, and I know a lot of people are looking for that, and it happens to line up with these other levels. I think I had this, yeah. So I had it at these levels here, and we have hit the 50%. So 47K, it did go that little bit further down, and the 50% level is around 46,800. So just a couple of $100. That's pretty close within the grand scheme of things. The 50% is an amazing tool to use as well. So make sure you check out the Fib tool and learn how to use the Fib tool. So limit orders. Look, if it goes further than that, you just got to be comfortable with the market crashing to 42 or 40K. I'm not saying it's going there. There's a much less probability of it going that far, considering we've come to the 50% and bounced. Some volume is finally coming into the market. That's a really good sign. We did not see volume. Look at it. Remember I said this for weeks up here. I'm like, there's no volume. Everyone's calling for a freaking $80,000 Bitcoin. There's no volume. They're calling for a $75,000 Bitcoin. We don't see volume. That's okay too, because if we got volume to push us out on high volume, then that's a sign, yes, we're going up to whatever, 70, 75, 80. We're going up, but we just didn't even get the volume on the breakout. This was the day that we got the breakout, 13th of April, then the 14th of April, specifically on the 14th of April in our Investor Accelerator group. You can find a link to that in the description down below. It's 12-month membership. My brother is a trader as well. He specifically looked at this in terms of Wyckoff theory, this bar, and just said, it doesn't look like we're going to go much higher. Obviously, we could all be wrong, but this was a telltale sign. And he's a little more experienced than I am in this whole field. He's doing it day in, day out for 11 years. High leverage in the futures markets, following that, and just did not see that as a way to go. Yes, it is a daily chart, so we have smaller moves to consider. It's not a weekly chart, but that was the first sign. Then my skills, I saw it a little further down here. This is a very experienced trader. Like, you're not going to get this, your typical high volume, huge YouTube channels. This is like traders who aren't online, who are doing this 100% full time, all the time. Now, what does that say about me? I'll leave it up to you. I'm a macro trader. I want to see longer term timeframes. I'm more interested in that because I think the probabilities are more in my favor when it comes to macro timeframes than trying to trade it on a smaller time frame. I mention that all the time in those the exit strategy videos, and basically setting yourself up with a plan when you're investing and trading. That's what the primary purpose is of the Investor Accelerator membership. And the guys who are in that, they know. They've messaged me. They said, thank you very much. This course is fantastic on how I can reduce my FOMO and understand whether I'm feeling the FUD. I've got my plan. I'm just sticking to it. Anyway, Bitcoin, that's what we're looking at here. Are we answering the question? Bitcoin, are we in a crypto bear market? I don't think so. Some of the cryptos are going to suffer more than others. And Bitcoin, look, 11 days down. I haven't seen 11 days down. I need to test back further than 4 years. Okay, I've come back 4 years. I think I've even come back 5 years and just gone through and measured some data here. 7 days, 8 days. I don't think we've seen 11 days down. For it to bounce back above an old all-time high after 11 days down is going to take something absolutely remarkable. I don't know if we're going to get that catalyst just yet, but overall, I think we're going to build up, create a much more solid foundation, then we can start to move up again. How long is that going to take? Not sure yet. I want to measure some more time frames and work it out from there. But if I just look back at the 2019 top, yes, they're different. I know I get that question a lot. People are like, well, 2019 is different. It's a bear market rally, or it's a intermediate rally. It's not at all-time highs. I get that. But we got to look at the data here when it comes to numbers of days. This held the market down for quite a long period of time. 6 to 9 days, it held the market down. I'm still buying in this period. You'd be happy if you were bought in this period now, but when you're buying in this period at $7,000 or $6,000 Bitcoin, and then the market dumps to 3,800 and 4,000 and sits at 5,000 for a little while, you sort of get a little bit pissed at your investment. But long term, look what happens. If you can stomach that and you can wait for a solid 10x from that point, then you're going to do all right. But you got to be patient. This is not an hourly game, even though that's the way it works on YouTube. I will stop sharing screen. I'll come over to your questions because, like I said, at the end of this, 4 dislikes from scammers. I said I'm looking at Q&A. We got 700 online, 300 likes. You guys can do that. You're over here. You got 700 on. Let's go to 300 likes and let's get some questions going. Once again, watching a live feed on YouTube twice in a row, the screen is blurry. Guys, are you getting a problem with my the quality of the stream? Let me know. I've got the Wi-Fi on. Maybe I'll have to cross over to mobile data, but it should be all right. Will Solana ever dip? Yes. Where? Good question. But this broke through its old all-time high when the market was dipping. That's crazy. Marco's good. Marco's good. Robert's good. Maybe it's someone. No issues. Fantastic. Megan. Miga? Miga. Megara. Anyway, thank you. It's crisp. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Everything's okay. Someone else says it's my connection. Maybe the other person's connection. Doge. 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 Is this your first rodeo? Doges are basically pumps and dumps. It pumped to 10 cents and then we saw it dump to 4.5, 5 cents. It accumulated again, then it took off. The problem is trying not to get sucked into the later part of the push in Doge. That's why fundamentals are great. There's no fundamentals to Dogecoin. There is a lot of massive hype, great community. It can pump. So it's a fantastic gambling coin. If you want to gamble some money away and have a plan to get out, don't worry if you don't get the top. The other part with Doge, what was I going to say on Doge? Oh, is check out the charts. Make sure you look at a chart, because if the chart has already gone up exponentially, it's just gone sort of straight up, the moves in price, here's an easy lesson. The moves in price start to become the same in a day that they were in a week or in a month. You're starting to see that there is a lot of buy pressure and it could potentially become oversold quite quickly. So that's an easy one to look at. Questions. Crypto bear market. Are we in a crypto bear market? Let's answer this one. Is Poker City a clever Ponzi scheme? I think most investing is a clever Ponzi scheme. Poker City, now that we're in a digital space where everything is just done digitally, what is the real use to any of this? Why do you need to play video games? Why does anyone need to be playing video games? I don't know. Why does anyone need to be trading NFTs? Like they're collectibles, and people say because we've collected things forever. Okay, what for? To store value in an NFT? Maybe. You let me know. What are your thoughts on that? I don't see the point in playing video games apart from an escape from your physical life. You know, so you're in a digital space. This is the only place I can get away with thoughts on. How's that water taste? It tastes like filtered Brita water. Still dropping to one. ADA dropped past $1. It went to 89 cents. Vets. Filtered Brita. Is SafeMoon a scam with really great marketing? Obviously, yes. It's so clear that it's a scam. I don't know how people don't see it. Tell me why you think. Actually, I've got a friend who thinks it's not a scam or didn't think it wasn't a scam because they do fantastic marketing. They're talking to their community. They're doing AMAs on Telegram or another form of media. I think they're building a decentralized exchange. Whoop-de-doo. But their marketing is amazing. And you have people in society who are so drawn to multi-level marketing schemes or Ponzi schemes or how to get rich quick. People are drawn to this stuff like, I don't know, what? Give me something. They're just drawn to it. And if you have some good marketing for it, then it's going to do very well. Completely unsustainable tokenomics. I think that's another part, and this can apply to anything in the market. You know, that some tokens don't have good tokenomics, some do. So unsustainable tokenomics, I think they really play on the fact that it's a deflationary tokenomics. So they're bringing coins out of circulation, and that's going to improve the price or increase the price of the coin over time. If you just hold for long enough, flies to a turd. Thank you. That's what I needed to say. Flies to a turd. But yeah, it's pretty much just a Ponzi scheme. And when everyone's talking about it, I had Bethany, my fiance, her mum even messaged me and said, "What do you think of this?" And I said, "Look at it. It's a Ponzi scheme." And she loves a good MLM. Jason, my mate, is your doppelganger. Okay, cheers. Any view on OMI VV? I potentially have an interview with the CEO, Dan, coming up. I'll probably record it end of this week, maybe next week. And if you have questions, I'll make a post on Twitter and probably just Twitter. You guys can ask your questions there if you have questions about OMI, and I'll ask them to the CEO. So apart from that, it sounds pretty good. I got a rundown of it. I've done some more research on it. It sounds quite good. I know it's at $1 billion market cap. Looking at the price, it looks like it's on the way down. That's a good thing. If you believe in the project and you've done your own research on it, I think it could be a good time to start DCAing in. Not financial advice, and I'm not telling you to go and buy any OMI, but if you check a chart, you can really see the trend of a market after it has spiked and then when it's on its way down. Same deal with a lot of these NFTs. Audio token drop price effect. I saw it coming down when I was checking my charts as well, so that's a good thing. Happy for it to go down too. Nice. We're talking about OMI there. Any other questions on the crypto? Well, I don't believe there's a crypto bear market long term. I think this might just be a short-term correction for some cryptos which might struggle to get out of this little bit of a lull. 300 likes. Thank you, guys. 2 weeks into crypto, got excited, dropped $50 to $100 across 8 cryptos. Do you think selling smaller investments is a small loss? All right, so let's assume you had $500 to $800 to put into cryptos. I have a specific, and I assume many people are in this position. Let me know in the comments if you're in this position where you had 500 bucks, $1,000, and don't worry if you're not. We're going to get to some other questions. But if you're in this position where you've had 500 to $1,000 and you've sort of like spread yourself thin, and now you're sort of watching all these charts for not much money, and you've lost 20 bucks here and there, are you in this position? I have videos on the channel. Curtis says he was in this spot too, about starting your own plan, like what to do with $1,000, and obviously you're just going to scale that to whatever amount you have, and what I would do in that situation. So I would look at just having a couple of cryptos. If I have a small amount, say 500 bucks, I don't want to be putting $50 into 10 different projects. One, fees are ridiculous. Two, it's probably because because I'm not an experienced investor, and then all of a sudden you are exponentially increasing the problems you can have when you have never invested before. Maybe you bought a few stocks here and there, maybe you own a house, like this sort of stuff. But yeah, then throwing 500 bucks into 10 different projects, now you've got to cover 10 different things. Think about all the time you need to spend to understand what's going on for these 8 different projects, whatever the number is, right? Reducing it down into some of the majors. Of course, you're not going to get the returns like throwing 500 bucks at some small altcoin under 10 million or whatever. But the risk is lower and it keeps you in the market. So when the bear market comes, whether that's in 6 months or whatever it is, then you're going to stay with the market and you're going to learn more about it. That's where the money is made, in the bear market. So if you can survive through the bear market, you're almost, not financial advice, you're almost guaranteed success. Because if you can start buying into that bear market, that is where the big money's made. Imagine if you stayed with Bitcoin while it was at $6,000, $7,000, and you just kept buying into $6,000 or $7,000 of Bitcoin. Now, even with this dump, it's at, call it 50 grand, 52 grand, whatever. 7K into 47, is that 700%, 600%, whatever it is? You're feeling much more settled in your investment. And you can stomach seeing it go from 64 grand down to 52 grand. It's not that big of a deal. So if you can survive the bear markets, then you're going to do well. That's my long-winded explanation of what to do if you have 50 bucks, 100 bucks, and it's across all these different cryptos. Think about your time. Patience is the name of the game, Cannon says. Think about your time and your experience. Most people don't have much experience. That's why they're here now at the later stages of the bull market. And then they make the problem exponentially harder for themselves by trying to cover so many different cryptocurrencies. And it doesn't help on YouTube. I will admit that a lot of people are talking about a lot of different projects, and that is everyone, even the best channels. We look at, say, Coin Bureau, guy from Coin Bureau. There's a lot of projects there which are covered, and they all sound pretty good, especially when you get to the end and he talks about you're welcome, Sean, and he talks about the prediction or whatever it is. I watched one about Solana because I hadn't done any research on it. I watched that whenever he put the first, well, maybe it was the second one. Was it December or January or something like that? And Solana was probably like $3. And he was talking about it, not that it wouldn't do well, but he thought it needed to have a few more pieces to the puzzle put in there, and it wasn't a buy or whatever at that time. And I didn't do any other research to it. I just left it. My own fault, not his. And then here we are. Solana's gone from $1 last year, probably $3 or $4 in January, to $50 now. And it's just the way that the cryptos are presented on YouTube. It's really just up to the individual and how they see it. And so there's been plenty of projects which the top channels have missed because of their own beliefs and how they see their portfolios to be set up. That's the way the game goes. But if you can just get 1, 2, 3 winners out of that portfolio, have patience, you're going to do very well in your own portfolio. But moving these things around to all different things and not giving it time, it's going to really affect you. How much time do you spend on cryptos per day? Do you have any other work? No, I do this full time now. So I haven't done a video, and people have asked about it. My history has come from property investing, that I started that when I was 20, so I won't do like a long thing as well, but I'm full-time investing now, and that's investing and then also business, and the business is being on YouTube. Everyone that is on YouTube is basically their business, and the beauty about it, anyone can start a channel. The beauty about it is that you can research and basically get paid to research. Might not be much, but it's an incentive. And so you can start to learn about these projects, and as your channel grows, you have more doors open. Like my channel wasn't big last year. I'm just being open, it was only like 10,000, or when I started, it was probably about 15 or 20,000. This was earlier last year. And then it grows and grows and grows over time. The more that you continue to research, the more content you put out, stuff that people are interested in, the stuff that interests you, you really have to do that. Then the more the doors open, and like you can see, I'm talking with the CEO on a CTO of TVK. Sure, it's a small crypto project, big deal, but I get to get firsthand experience and then figure out whether it's something that I want to invest in. I'll talk with Leo says he's been here since 5K. Let me know if do you remember when you subscribed to my channel? Do you remember, like the channel while you're down there, but do you remember when you subscribed to my channel? How many thousand subscribers did I have? That was when I was doing like vegan travel content, which I don't do anymore. And I'm not vegan. So thank you for following for that long. Since 12K subscribed. Been here since 12K. 70,000, cool. That was only last month too, I think. Just now, Jason, talk ain't much sense though. I don't even think I made sense of your comment. I'm sorry. 60K, been loving the crypto. Excellent. I was here for the fitness stuff. I didn't even put much fitness stuff on. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. It's just basically doing the research. And the long story from that was, you're saying, what do I do? This is what I do full time. I was in property, then I did trading, and I was also a PT at the time. I was doing trading, and I wanted to get more into investing because I was, I'd read Rich Dad Poor Dad when I was 19 or 20 years old, and he's got the cash flow quadrant, and I didn't want to be an employee. So you had to go employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. I just wanted to be an investor. So I wanted to do whatever I could to get to the investment point. And that took me along a whole different course of things, made huge mistakes, then found out a lot about, say, the banking system and how different structures work in different jurisdictions. It's a lot to do with taxes as well. So that stuff is extremely important to get dug into if you want to get financially free. And now I do this full time. The YouTube channel is because I always wanted to talk to people and to help people. That's how I started with the vegan stuff or health, and then I switched to different topics. I was on Instagram since 2014, I think, and then YouTube I started in 2014, but I wasn't. I wasn't like really into it, and then I started to get more and more into it, and I just enjoy helping people as well. So that's, you work for yourself, you want to have some interaction with other people who are in the same space as you. Where we go? Are we in a bear market? All right, bear market? No. So I'm sure people are coming on, and people are dropping on, coming off, so they're not seeing what we're talking about in the beginning. But I don't think we're in a Bitcoin bear market long term, but we do have periods within a bull market that will need to be a little quieter than others. Quieter meaning we're below the all-time high, we're having a pullback, a correction in a bull market, and these things can take weeks. And if you leave the market because you're bored or you're scared, then you miss out on the opportunity. It's that simple. So many of these things that I've learned are so simple, but the main thing is the patience. And people do not have patience. You will see that in your own life. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, it takes time to get there. And someone that comes in and they're really excited, you might be teaching them about something. I should have an example for this. Say surfing, because that's what I like, surfing. Some people like it. They want to learn more about it, and then they want to start getting into it, and they don't have the patience to go through with it. Then they miss out and they don't learn the skill and come next summer, they're not ready to surf, and they start the cycle all over again, and they're just trying to get out there and practice surfing again, and so they never build on that experience. And that's all it is with cryptocurrency as well, and investing overall, stocks, property, whatever. Should do a collab with Cryptos R Us. I'm talking with George on Telegram just to see if we can organize something. I want to do something a little bit different. If you've got ideas, let us know down below. I was suggesting some sort of, let's talk about food and travel, which I absolutely love, but obviously with crypto as well. I'm not sure about I want to do a mukbang, but he never mentioned that. It was just me. So from what I gather, you don't think it's likely that BTC will go higher. However, you think it will. No. It also depends on timeframes. It depends on timeframes. I think Bitcoin will go higher. It will go higher, but in what time frame? So far, we've seen 11 straight days down. No, you tell me if you've seen anyone else on YouTube. I haven't seen anyone else talking about periods of time with how low this market is going. Oh, sorry, how much time down the market has had. It's had 11 days. Bitcoin, 11 days down. We have not seen that in the history that I've researched, and that was about 5 years back. And so I think we'll probably see the Bitcoin price stabilize for a period of time before we begin to climb back to new highs. If it doesn't, and it just goes straight back up in some sort of V-shaped recovery, wow, that's going to be very big. I'm not sure how sustainable that is, and maybe we'll go through some sort of blow off top. Please take all of that in and don't cut your own bite-sized segment of that up. That needs to go all together, right? Because it's just like the market, crypto needs a consolidation period. Did you guys follow the stock market through, what was it, last year, the COVID crash? So we had the stock market COVID crash. I'm getting my chart out now. Stock market COVID crash. Where's my chart? Here. Let's look at the NASDAQ. All right, so I've got it open. I'm going to share this with you guys. Like up the video. Got 400 likes here. Thank you, guys. We'll get to 1,000 people on the stream. All right. NASDAQ. So remember how scary this was? Do you remember February into March of last year? This is a cyclical time. I messaged Phil Anderson. Right. That, can you see? We've got 930. Secret Life of Real Estate and Banking. If you want to learn about cycles, that is the book. I should have a link to this in the description. If I don't, just go and find it online. It's probably like $70. Don't be a freaking tight ass. Get the book, learn about cycles. 200 years of data. That, if you read it a few times over, you'll get the hang of it. And it's so I was going to say repeatable. The cycle continues to repeat and repeat and repeat. And at that time, during this low here, I messaged him and said, do you think this time's different? Like everyone else says. I asked him as well at that time, because we'd seen something different. We saw this pandemic, and will the market go lower? Will we see this low taken out? I have an email from him saying, pretty much no. That's the low. The low is in. Market's going higher. He thought potentially 2021 would be a bit of a shaky ride. This is him he was telling me this last year, right back here. We're going to go up. 2021 might be a bit shaky. What have we seen so far in 2021? The broader market, we have seen shakiness. This is the beginning of 2021. Up, down, all the way back lower than there, up again. We're into April. We're not halfway through the year yet, but we're 2 months off. And so far, we've just seen volatility, just up and down. We have not seen what we saw in 2020, which was almost straight up. So it just keeps happening time and time again. And YouTube so much stuff that's out there is confuses people. And then you look at it in a broad term time frame, you'll see the patterns repeat. I know we want to talk about cryptocurrency here, but this helps you understand the overall markets. If you want something you never had, you have to do something you never done. Yes. Yep. You definitely got to improve yourself. Shane, new to crypto, but am enjoying it very much. I have a ton to learn, but really feel it's something that can only help bring us all together. Looking forward to learning from a lot of you. Okay. Nice one. Facts. Hamid. My friends are too crazy about Bitcoin. That is all they talk about. Should I conduct an intervention? You can try. Pinch of salt. Cycles we use any type of market. It's just how the world works. Exactly. Works because we're all emotional people. Even the people that put together the bots. These sound like generic comments. Hey, Jason, who taught you TA? I've got some books back here. If you want, write this down. It was a David Bowden course. This is like old, going back 10 years ago. He'd written the course about 20 years earlier, and it still stands now. And he learned from W.D. Gann. So David Bowden was another epic trader in the 80s, I think probably through the 70s, 80s, and 90s. He's from Australia. He lives sunny coast. And then he learned about W.D. Gann, learned how all the time cycles work, applied it to trading, traded the ASX, did very, very, very well. You can probably find some data on him. And that one's called Safety in the Market. I believe they're still around, but I'm not sure whether they've sort of kept up with their education and stuff like that. But this is obviously a long time ago. And then going forward, I just continue to teach myself about swings from Gann and also Wyckoff theory. I've shown the books before, and I probably have a link to them down below, but Wyckoff theory, trading in the shadows of the smart money. That is what I look at when I talk about volume analysis and bar pattern analysis. I just started crypto 2 days ago, and I have only put money into stablecoin. BTC, is that a good start? Only put about 200. Well, look, at least you're getting started. Just do your research, watch some of the videos on the channel, create a plan. Have a plan, because when things go wrong, people get freaked out. Would you recommend in buying more into crypto today? And if so, what would you buy? Guys, these are financial advice. You know, like I have no idea of your background. So how can I talk about what it is that you should be doing? And I'm sure you could tell me your background, but we're going to be here all day. Watch the videos on the channel. The best advice I can give you is watch the videos on the channel on how to create a trading plan, create an exit plan, etc. $190K from SafeMoon. Well done. Sounds like the family's back. Guys, like up the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Newsletter. There's a free newsletter you can click a link to in the description down below. That's free. We talk about some of these cycles. We talk about cryptocurrencies. There's a lot that's on those emails. So if you want to be part of the free emails to learn a little more, drop your email address down below. Yes, SafeMoon is pretty much a Ponzi scheme. But if you get in early enough, the early investors into Ponzi schemes generally make the money. Mickey Blue, thanks for the live video. You're welcome. All right, guys, we're 44 minutes in. Let's have a look at some of the other topics I wanted to cover on the video today. Solana ecosystem, that was a big one. So we've gone a lot of questions because it's been a big thing at the moment. And we want to talk a little more about it. But first, this is a good one. Can you tell us your thoughts if we're in a housing bubble? Can't you? Yes. Dawn probably has heard it before. That's why she's got lol at the end. We're not in a, well, we're in a housing bubble for another few years, but bubbles can keep going, right? People are saying it's going to crash this year. They have no idea what the hell they're talking about. They have done not enough research into cycles. No offense to them. Too late to buy Solana. Look, long term, I think we're going to be okay with Solana. But like I say with every single crypto, and people still get triggered when a market goes down because they don't watch anything. They're on the live stream for 30 seconds and then they click off. Fair enough. I might do the same, but gotta pay attention. Okay, Sol. Have to expect at some point the market will correct. So even buying in after the breakout here, which was a pretty good buy at 18 bucks, it took off to about $30, 29, and then dropped to 21. So if you happen to be buying it at the top here, and then you experience a 28% correction, can you stomach that? Put these sort of things into your plan. Understand where some of these points could be. You know, if the market goes further than the 61%, am I going to get out? What does that mean? Etc. etc. You really got to understand your risk analysis and your money management, and that's what we go through in the Investor Accelerator, which there's a link to in the description. Got some loud motorbikes outside. So that's Solana. I like it long term. The thing that's starting to get a little bit crazy is that we are just going up and up and up. We're starting to get smaller ranges on the way up. We had some big volume here, which is not bad. Big volume, and to push us a little higher. We definitely want to see the volume hold in. If it doesn't, and we start to slow, then yes, we'll probably get a correction at some point, because it's just the energy of the market starting to roll over. So long-term, Solana is looking pretty good. I'm going to do a video on Solana. I've got some a fair bit of research on it, and I'll go through that. I've got some good friends who do a lot of research into Solana and the Solana ecosystem. This is going to be a big narrative throughout the summer. Solana, Serum, Radium, FTX Exchange, which is the token called FTT, Sol Starter, which has all of the projects coming on board for Sol. That stuff is going to be big. And you can just see the narrative starting to shift that way. So Solana itself, it can do about 50,000 transactions per third of a second. So it's about 150,000 per second. It is a layer 1. It's not a layer 2 like Matic. Matic is great as well, but Matic goes on top of Ethereum. It's just that it makes life easier if you have a fast layer 1, something that is safe, and you don't have to keep trading in and out of different ecosystems, like different contracts, smart contracts. So for Matic to get to Sol, you'd have to sell Matic into ETH, and then I think that's the way it had to work, ETH over to the Sol ecosystem. So I'm going to do a little bit more on that in a future video, something more dedicated to it rather than in a live stream. But overall, if you wanted a heads up, then definitely start researching that field. People get into the crypto space and like, where do I start? And you don't want to start with Bitcoin or Ethereum because you think that the market's already blown up and I'm not going to get any more gains. They're great sort of gold investments. If you want somewhere to start, I definitely think the Sol ecosystem is probably a good space. George said something about waiting on theta nodes. Okay. How much research is too much research into a coin? How long should one hang on that coin if there's very little movement? Thanks for all your videos. Good question. How much research? I think it comes with experience. It's a shirty answer, I know, but you start to get a feel for, all right, should I be doing more research onto this or less? Have I done enough? You get a feel for what else could I be looking at. So I would probably say go and check out some, how to do fundamental analysis videos. Check several of them. See if you're missing any pieces of the puzzle. If you like, go back and check yesterday's video, which was the Poker City video I did, and you can see different headings that I have covered off to do my research on Poker City, and I picked up a lot of critical areas in that project. But then there's also some good stuff, considering it's such a small project, market cap that is, not fully diluted, just regular market cap, $6 million. It's probably 7 million now, but yesterday it was around 5.9 million. There's going to be some things which are not complete. And so they're coming to market to get money. And so if the project's not complete, it's going to show in the market cap price. So you got to have a look at the team to see if they can produce the results. Maybe they can't even produce the result of the product at the end, but they have fantastic marketing, AKA SafeMoon. Their marketing is probably the best in the space at the moment. There's obviously some other great projects, but look at them. They are talked about everywhere. I'll show you on, I brought it up here. So really looking at those small projects, if they have fantastic marketing and they really have nothing behind the scenes, like that's an extreme example of fantastic marketing. They aren't doing anything. All right. So then that could still be a project to invest in. It's essentially a huge speculation because you're only investing in the team and their marketing. So you're basically just speculating. This is 12 months US data. Look at that first. Crypto. Crypto is being searched so much at the moment. And we're in, it's 11 days down on Bitcoin. SafeMoon skyrocketed this week. It was at 9 and skyrocketed. Solana, of course, it can't compete with these. Obviously not crypto, because crypto is the whole market. But SafeMoon, nuts. Let's look at worldwide. It's caught up to searches for crypto. That's how ridiculous it is. You see, like, this is where you can make money from even projects that do nothing. And so I looked at Poker City and I thought, who's actually going to use this platform? The community seems pretty positive. They seem lively. This is definitely no like buy recommendation whatsoever. I'm just looking at it in terms of these little points, right? And so the community seems all right. It looks like they can do something. They got a sort of product that you can fathom what it is. Yes, I go on there and I buy a taxi or a skateboard or some other little bits and pieces, and I get a return. I get 100% per annum, 200% per annum. People like that. That's what I look at. What are we talking about here? He's so greedy. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Charles Hoskinson has a great vision. Yes. I'm hesitant because of the development of Cardano. Compare it to Solana. Go and do some research after this, and then go and compare it to what's actually being built on Solana and see. All right, Hoskinson over here with Cardano for 4 years. Did it come out in 2017, 2018, something like that? And then Solana, which came out last year. It's almost chalk and cheese. But I continue to invest in Cardano and talk about it because the community is massive. And it's like Ripple in the community sense because people just go crazy over it. And so that's almost enough to continue to push the price. There's like an idea out there that people can believe in, and they start to put this thing together in their own head, even though it's not there in the physical sense. And they get really hyped up about it and go and buy these tokens. That is almost, Hoskin is cringe. That's almost enough to push these things up. Well, it is enough. Think about Dogecoin for, F's sake. This stuff is crazy. And you see it in the bear markets. Like the ones that really, really get destroyed in the bear markets are kind of more that the ideas were there. And then when there's nothing there, the ideas get crushed. And that's what leads to the emotional depression in the prices. I think Hoskinson is like, how old is he? Is he like 30? I honestly thought the guy was 50. Charles Hoskinson age. Yeah, there we go. 33 years old. Maybe it's the beard, maybe it's the glasses, maybe it's the hair. I don't know. I thought he was like 50 odd. But yeah, Vitalik's 27. Hoskinson's 33. Gavin Wood is the older one. He's 41. Gavin Wood is Polkadot. The one, 33. There you go. Thanks, guys. Let's agree to disagree on that one. Okay. No, that's fine. And this is the beauty of the space, right? So other people do see it. Yeah. Can I become an announcement of an announcement? Just Hopium and Steam. Yeah, I think we're beating a dead fish with that one at the moment. So we'll move on. Dead horse. Beating a dead horse. What am I talking about? A dead fish. Do you think that retailers have a significant impact on price action in this market, or is a movement primarily made by big money? We're definitely seeing retailers push markets. How far can they push them? I don't know how to test that one. Does Glassnodes have a way to test that? I would look at, say, Dogecoin, because what are the words you're using here? Primarily big money. Okay, so think about Dogecoin. Do you think big money's getting into Dogecoin? If not, and if it's all retail, then we have seen a retail push a cryptocurrency, an inflationary cryptocurrency with 130 billion coins out in circulation, not even locked up, out in circulation, to a 50-something billion-dollar market cap. If that's the limit of what we're seeing with retail, then I sort of use that metric in a very rough way across other projects. Thinking of, say, Bitcoin, why can Bitcoin and Ethereum be pushed up so much? That would be, even though that they're so much higher in valuation, because they have a supply shortage. So there may only be, well, we know how much is out there. I don't have the numbers off the top of my head, but for Bitcoin, last time I remember was about, like, say, 4 million Bitcoin are out there. So 4 million, did I do my numbers right? 4 million multiplied by 52,000. That leaves us with about 200, that can't be right, 200 billion out there. So if that's what's floating around, but then there might only be 1 million on an exchange, drop that figure down again, 50 billion. So that's why the Bitcoin price can continue to be moved around by retail, even though there's 18 million coins with call it $1 trillion market cap, but the supply is in shortfall. There's just not enough supply there, and that can push the price around even by retail investors. And big money can be sitting on the sidelines waiting for the retail to get tired of going up 6%, down 12%, up 15%, down 8%. They sort of just get tired of that, they get scared, and then retail go. And if I'm saying something that you're familiar with, you're experiencing that yourself, you're new into the market, I think that's probably part of the story of why these markets tend to top out. David, fascinating how many less people join the stream when crypto isn't crashing. Sideways days aren't sexy. True, we're at 1,000. Look, I think it's late in the US as well. New York, 11:30, California, 8:30. No one from Europe would be here. That's 3:30 London, 4:30 in the Western Europe. Greece is 5:30 in the morning. That's what time they go to bed. They don't get out of bed till freaking 11, 2 in the afternoon. They still say Kalimera at like 1 in the afternoon. Kalimera is good morning. Just showing off my little bit of Greek there. You're from Spain. You haven't gone to bed yet, I bet. 4:30. Must be 3:30 or 4:30 there. You would not have gone to bed. The UK. Jesus. Go get some sleep, people. London. Can't sleep. It's not going to help if you're on a live stream with someone in Australia. Good afternoon, 1:30. All right, so that's a scary little image. I'm going to take that one off. 7:30 a.m. Dubai, nice. Cyprus, Kalimera. Cayman Islands. You know what you're doing with when it comes to taxes, I assume. Yeah, West Coast. Okay, we're still a good time for West Coast. Does this time or maybe a little bit earlier work for you guys? Because I'm considering doing a few more live streams. I have a lot of data or stuff to go through, and I still haven't gone through. I've just enjoyed chatting about the market in real time with questions. As a just investor for long-term paired, love how I see 10% loss on my portfolio not phased in the last 5 hours, has corrected from Southwest UK. Nice. Yeah, so if you're long-term, it sort of doesn't make any difference to you. Callie, New York time zone, still watching. Nice. But I'm uptight whether the market is going up or down. What do you do, Kara? What are you doing at 11:30? I guess that's East Coast US. Yeah, 11:30 p.m. Lunch break. All right. So I've looked at Solana. Well, we looked at Solana. The other parts of the ecosystem, which I just wanted to mention because I'll do a proper video on them, was Serum, Ray. Serum is the DEX on Solana. And then Ray is the automated market maker. So that is the business which is basically funding Serum. I want to do a little more on that, get that right. But I just understand that's sort of like the money that's coming in to be used on Serum. FTT, now don't quote me word for word there because I want to do a proper video on it. FTT is obviously the exchange. They're doing very well. FTX exchange. They bought Blockfolio. FTX exchange has also got the naming rights to the Miami Heat basketball center. So I think they're calling it FTX Arena. So they know what they're doing. Sam is the CEO of these companies, of FTT and Alameda Research. Alameda were the guys who were trying to buy, or they did buy some Reef token or get given that, however that worked. And then they sold it off. But Sam is a very smart man. Young dude, 29, worth about $10 billion. Just go. These guys know what they're doing. And they're kind of like the people you want to bet on. You want to bet on the person. You want to bet on the CEO or the founder of these companies. And they're kind of like Midas touch people. Whatever they touch turns to gold. Apparently, Sam is one of those. My mate that's done a ton of research absolutely loves him. I've been watching a lot of interviews with CEOs so you can get a bit of feel for who they are and what they do. And definitely, I would be checking out some of that stuff. If you're on your break or you can't sleep now or you need some other stuff to research on, go and check out Sam from Solana. I wanted to mention exit plans. There's videos on the channel. So by the time I do this, let me share an application window. Here we are. All right. So I'll just show this quickly. We've got here on playlists. Home, liked. Here we go. This is where it is, home. Yep. Okay, so you can see these playlists here on my channel. Go to this one, new to Bitcoin. So basically what I'm getting at here is the small caps. Exiting plan and plans in general, because obviously the idea of this is, are we in a crypto bear market? Bitcoin crypto Q&A. Go and check out this. There are plenty of videos here. Crypto exit plan, only 25,000 on there. Go and check that out. $1,000 to invest. I talk about Bitcoin and the cycles, Ethereum and the cycles, investing $1,000 again, maybe it's a slightly different spin on it. And then these videos will help you create something that is going to work for you. I ask questions. I don't give you the answers, so that you can come up with something that works for you. Wallets, if you want to store your stuff safely, boom, go and check out some of the wallets video, the wallet video I have here. Exiting small caps. Yesterday, I did this video here on Poker City. Now, if you don't want to invest in Poker City, no harm off anyone's back. Don't invest in it. The point I wanted to make with this video is just go and look. If you want an idea of how to research something, I'm not saying this is the best. I'm just saying it's a start. And so you can see some of the dot points I have in that. Screenshot that, go through it, go and start researching some other cryptos as well. That's an easy way on how to do it. Solana, yes. Ethereum. Upcoming trends. We've looked at DeFi as being an upcoming trend. Where is more of this? Anyway, it's going to be back here on videos. DeFi. So 2 weeks ago, I started looking at the space, because NFTs looked like they were coming down. You could just see them starting to top out. And I started to talk a little bit more about DeFi being the narrative here. BTC, huge XRP. We talked about that a few days earlier and saw that as a reasonable trade. April altcoins. What do we got here? This didn't eventuate. This would have been beautiful. Looking back on this, Solana was the pick, wasn't it? Solana, FTT, they were the picks. Polkadot stayed steady and it did increase a little bit. Ripple took off, but it's, again, like every single Ripple video I ever talk about, is that it's a trade, because it tends to fade really heavily. So it's an easy trade, but a long-term hold, not for me. So that's what I wanted to mention on this part here. Bitcoin must watch. Go and check that out. there's simple indicators that I'm using here to determine good price areas for buy and support. What else I wanted to mention to you guys before let's have a look. So across here, Sol, Matic is another big one, which is probably going to start coming back into the narrative because this is probably the biggest, best layer 2, and it's almost trading back at all-time highs of 54 cents. It saw a dump to around 26 cents, and so it's back up to 44. Even as Bitcoin is falling, its Bitcoin value is nearly back at its old all-time high. This was a big, big play early on. Litecoin, it just continues to disappoint, doesn't it? But it's not an area that I am not selling out here. You guys do what you need to do, but if I didn't sell out up here, I'm not selling out here. I think this will go up at some point. It's just one of those laggers. Look at it against Ethereum. Terrible. LTC Bitcoin is holding up. Ethereum does look like the play that is going to outperform. And I wouldn't say pissed. It's no regrets in life, but a better play was to hold Ethereum than Litecoin. That simple. It's as crazy as it is. You have to just admit it. If you're going to trade, if you're going to invest, you got to admit where the wrongdoings are so you can improve on them next time. No point in sweeping it under the rug. Link doing okay. It's fallen off these highs of $45, but again, it's still holding up. That volume is not looking good to me. It is the weekend though. LTC Bitcoin holding up. Volume has dropped off. Link ETH. Again, look at that. Ethereum is the play. Ethereum, the play time and time again. IOTA didn't eventuate. That was sort of a false comeback. The graph. This didn't happen, but with the double top could happen. 22 cents. Where is that? No. 82 cents, sorry. 85 cents at these levels here. That's what I'm looking at. Let me just take these off. ADA hasn't really done anything, just been dropping. Matic shoot up to 44. Indeed. The graph, as I said, this is still something that I'm dollar cost averaging into because I did not see this play as something that's 100% going to take off, but it started to accumulate, build above these highs, but then it broke down, strong volume, and now we're back into this zone. So, I'm clicking through the charts. These are the zones that we're looking at. FTT, $49. It shot up to $59. Look at the volume on that bar. That is potentially a low with that sort of volume and the market just reversing, but the volume is then now down on the way up. We want to see some more volume come into the market as it shoots up. Ethereum, 2,439. These were the scare days, and then it just held ground and increased against Bitcoin. So yeah, we want to see this continue up, hold some ground above these old highs, market continues. It's the same thing that we talk about every single time, remember? Breakout, accumulate, breakout, accumulate, breakout, accumulate. And Bitcoin dominance, 51%. Now you can see this sort of thing happening again. See this? We watched it crash, hit our target, 150%, basically the 50% of Bitcoin dominance. So there it is. That's our double top. This is another Gann rule. Easy done. And we're seeing some sort of support or some sort of, you would say, resistance to fall further, but essentially it's support. Okay, moving across, market caps, $944 billion on Bitcoin. We're at a $1.8 trillion market cap, so we have fallen below the 2 trill. ETH, 278, Binance 80, where's Doge? 33, yeah. So Doge spiked to that 13 cents. Now it's back to 26. I think this is probably just going to level out and the energy is going to fade from Dogecoin. I think Doge has seen its day in the sun at the moment. See that? Yeah, some of the money needs to drain from this. That's wild. 47 cents. But it is holding above the 50% level. But the volume is still dropping. So I'm not in a hurry to get into this. That's for sure. I was in it in November, which I've talked about. Got out of it super early because I got 1,000% in dollar value and 400% in Bitcoin value. I thought, yep, that's my plan. I'm done because that's what history shows. But this is absolutely wild on Dogecoin. Wicked. What else we got here? Let's get through just a few news pieces. This is my Twitter. Thank you guys. Just saw that jump. So you guys are jumping on board Twitter here. Going live. I found this. How crazy is this? This is March 16th, 2020. And I brought this up again because of where we are in the cycle. 18.6 year cycle. That is that book. This was talking, I assume it was with a friend that I was talking with. What is this? Is that Facebook Messenger or is that iMessage? I don't know. One of the two. They just say, I'm worried about the economy. So it'll be fine. Panic selling and fear is high. Give it a few months. Great investing opportunities are to be had. This is in March 16th. That was at the absolute bottom. Where's March 16th? Maybe it was a few days off. March 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Wow. So it was in this period here that I wrote that message. As long as you still have money coming in, you'll be in a perfect position to invest and get the growth in your portfolio in a short few years. Wow, it happened within 12 months. So that's why I continue to preach, stay with the bear market, because literally that was here, that message that I sent with a friend. So 16th, the low was $4,400 and the high was $5,300. So essentially you'd be at it's not really a 10x, but you know what I'm saying, 10 times the money, from $5,300 to $53,000. Crazy times. That was the extreme fear, which, where are we for fear? 27 today. Let's have a look at the max. What was it on the 16th? 16th of March? There. Fear index of 8. So the fear, look how deep the fear was. Between 8 and about 14. That was the fear. And this is it on the chart. Like, that's wild. Best time. The rest of these times, this was difficult through 2018 because this was when it crashed through that 6,000 support and it crashed through the 6,000 support and went to about $3,100 Bitcoin. And then we took off into June, got really, really hyped, came all the way back. And again, now we're seeing ourselves come back to the 27s. Interesting. All right. Coin market cap. I'm just looking at your comments over on the screen over here. Basket coin burn. I've seen this come up a few times. Cardano Africa happening in a few days. Ethereum. Okay. GV liquidity. Ethereum is having a hard fork coming up. They've also had one gone. I think there's one coming up in July. Not much else I see here. Eternity. People talk about a lot. AIOZ. I'm interested in this. I'm going to do more research on AIOZ. Might have a video come out about that. Solana. Solana sets new all-time high while rest of market stagnates. We've covered this a lot, 55% in the past week. Market cap of 11 billion. However, Solana is at 12.6 billion now at $47. What else I highlight here? Launched last March after 3 years of development. At the start of the year, the coin was worth $1.60, $41, 26 times increase. Solana's success flies in the face of stagnancy of the rest of the market. First crash, baseless rumors. Treasury was about to crack down. See, this is what happens with news. It just shocks the market, and then we come back. Cheapening the NFT boom. This is what I was talking about. We were looking at it weeks ago, and I just thought the steam was coming off NFTs and it was going to go elsewhere. And now we see, yes, it's coming out in the news. NBA Top Shots down 61%, CryptoPunks down 26%, OpenSea down 22%. I don't even follow these things, but yeah, I know NBA Top Shot and CryptoPunks. That's about all I had here. That's all we really need to know. Massive bullish, Masari, yep. Quantum Fund co-founder Jim Rogers insists governments could ban cryptocurrency. Okay. Jim Rogers, who's co-founder of the Quantum Fund. What else are you guys seeing in the news that you're interested in? We'll have a look for that. Fund with billionaire investor George Soros. Still worried about governments outlawing Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. It seems like they're really hyping this thing up. I think they're going with this agenda to push it so they can get in. They really want something to happen with government. And you could bet if George Soros wants into it, he'll do whatever he can to scare the market enough to get him. You know, maybe he's even funding this Safe Moon scam and all that sort of stuff. I'm talking nonsense here, but he's funding this stuff to bring in regulations, because essentially people are going to get absolutely burnt by a Ponzi scheme and they're all going to be pissed. And that's time for the government to come in, bring in a ton of regulations, scare the market off, market dumps, income Soros's fund management, quantum fund. Yeah, it's just speculation. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Creator of the stock to flow creator, Plan B, claims Bitcoin price drop a midway dip. So where is his stock to flow? They don't even have a copy of it here. Yeah, this is what we're looking at here. We're not even close yet. But in terms of the returns, I think the returns will drop. Bit of luck. Luck's good value. I'm looking for something else here. Nope. DeFi. 55 billion locked up in DeFi. Where's Badger gone? Badger has fallen to 15th. Only 900 million locked. It did not do very well. It crashed to about 25 bucks. I think it needs some more time to do whatever it needs to do. Like, it's not holding its ground. 27. It's still early days out in the market too. All right, so one thing I can do, actually, let's measure for Badger. And you can use this on any chart. It doesn't have to be Badger. Here's the low. Here's the high. So do you see what happened there? Look where we're holding up. 100%. So this is a major top. This is the lesson here. Use this across any of your markets. All right. This is a free lesson on how to use GAN. What's this tool called? Because I call it something different. Trend-based fib extension. All right. So it's the fib extension. Major top, major low, the rally top. All right. Connect them. And then we're looking for 50% and 100%. And the market has pulled up at 100%. So that's a point that you could expect a turn. I'm not saying this is the absolute low, but we're expecting a turn. Now, if that turn happens to hold, then that's a good sign, right? That we can continue going higher because there is price cluster support at this level of $23, $24. So what we would see next for confirmation is market up, and we just sit back on those highs. Maybe go a bit sideways, do its thing, test, and away we go. That's a potential. So if that happened, this is cool because that is sitting on a support level. Where are we at? Ratio gang for the ETH lovers. I'll come back to the questions in just a second. 29%. So Ethereum is at 29% of Bitcoin's market cap. So we're climbing. I did post saying, will we flip Bitcoin? What do you guys think? Is Ethereum going to flip Bitcoin? Let me know in the comments. This is what this is tracking here. If you want to know, ratiogang.com. It's a bit of fun. This says we should be at least here, 0.08% of a Bitcoin. That's if Ethereum is to be valued at least half of the market cap of Bitcoin. Then we should be at 0.08% on the ETH BTC pair. And currently we're at 0.04, call it 0.047, just for a nice round number. So they're suggesting, might get rid of some of these. They're suggesting 0.08. Let's call it that. Where does that get us? All right, so from where we are now, 0.0808 is a 70% increase in Bitcoin value, just to get us to halfway to Bitcoin if Bitcoin is to stay where it is. Flippening happens at 0.16 ETH to flip. Are we going to flip? Not this year. Not this cycle. No. Zilliqa, just brutal. All right, so that's what I had there. And then the last thing we're looking at was the 20-week moving average. Looks like we're starting to roll over on this chart here. 20-week moving average, heat map. We got into the percentage of monthly increase on 200-week moving average. The green points, so somewhere in this region here, around 11%. What's to come? Probably think a little bit of a cooling off. Maybe we just drop into the green for a bit, but I don't think we're going to go too much lower than that, especially at this point. Maybe it comes into the... look, this is... You don't know. You just don't know. I could just speculate. Say, yeah, it comes back into somewhere in this region, and then we go sideways for a bit, and then we take off again. No one knows. All right. People are worried about Zilliqa. Yeah, that was brutal on the dollar value. On the BTC value, not much has changed. That's why I always look at the BTC. The dollar value is going to get crushed because it's priced against Bitcoin. We've bounced off the 50%. Look at that. Good. And we're 20-week moving average. Old highs become support, 50%. That's okay for me. I'm not concerned for Zilliqa. Zilliqa BTC, again, we're just in like the accumulation zone. We've come out of this bottom accumulation zone and we've gone into the next accumulation zone. And then we want to break out of that. Zen. I can't believe Zen. Zen is wild. What is going on? The volume has started to drop off here as we try for another all-time high. But this is mental. Just going from like $4 to $123. And it's even against Ethereum value. It's been pretty good just from the lows here. But from the top, it's just a continued downtrend. So that's why I've been selling out of Zen, because ETH long-term looks like a better play. And this is part of my exit strategy. If you wanted to know more about exit strategies, I just got this simple trend line here. Here's some support resistance. We've reached this level many times and Zen has turned around. So I just sell Zen into ETH because this typically tells me I'm going to do better holding ETH than I will holding Zen for the next period, whatever period that may be. 300 days, 350 days, like a year. How long did this take? Half a year, if I want to go this low, just over a year. So I'll come back to it and see what happens in a year's time. Maybe we're basing out, maybe we're going up, going a little bit lower, and then we come up again. What else I want to have a look at? Let's leave that one open. Stop sharing. There we go. Come back to your questions. I don't know if Zcash is going to be a good one long term. I'm not sure about them long term, to be honest. Matic is flying. It is doing well. So, guys, Q&A. Are we in a crypto bear market? If you're just joining, hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button, bell notification icon. Join me on Twitter, Instagram. Free newsletter down below. Investor Accelerator to join and learn how to trade and invest long term. We're not going anywhere just yet. We've got some more Q&A to get through. I've gone through a lot of the newsy things and the charts. Hello. Cardia chain. I haven't looked at it. I don't know. I assume it's a new coin, so there's probably not going to be too much data on it. I think I've missed a few comments up here as well, so sorry if I have. You guys might have been replying to stuff that I was asking about. Zen pumped way too fast. I'd be getting out now. Maybe buy later. Well, look, I was buying when it was $4, $5, $6 to average down, because I think my average was about 20 to 30, and so I averaged it into about 15, 16 after all that. And yeah, so it hasn't been too bad. It's been pretty good. Take a look at Cord Protocol. Great project with low market cap. My friends Mind Zen found out about it. It's insane. Yeah, well, I mean, what's the go with it? I'm aiming to do an interview with Rob, the co-founder, CEO of Horizon, which used to be called Zencash. Hopefully I've got that planned for either this week or next week. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. I've now seen other YouTubers say it's a possibility for ETH to flip Bitcoin one day. I don't know Booby from Chocolate Camp, but I believe it could rival it one day. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good narrative to play. That's kind of the next narrative. If for new people, think about it. You're new to the space. You have Bitcoin at 50 grand, ETH at 2 grand. You have no idea what it means to look at market caps. You want to make money. You want to get here fast. You're FOMOing, but you don't want to believe that you're FOMOing. What's a good narrative? ETH is going to flip Bitcoin one day. Oh my God, my $2,000 could go to $50,000. It's pretty simple. I make a video saying ETH to 100 grand. It gets a lot of views. It gets a lot of traction. I haven't made one yet, but maybe I will. And then I just have to expect hate from people because that's the way it works. New comments. All right, drop your comments down here, guys. Cotty, I haven't looked at. I'm sorry. Do not support buying a crypto that only wants to control people. Decentralization is the key, people. It looked into Atari? No, I mean, I never even owned an Atari. That was before my time. My time was Sega Mega Drive and NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. Oh, do you hear that? I need to stand up. My neck's getting sore. I don't know if you could hear that crack over my neck. How do you think Bitcoin... Hi, do you think Bitcoin will crash like 2017 again? Yes. I've been saying that for quite a long time. I don't know how long you guys have been following for, but I think it'll crash. Similarly, nothing will be exactly the same. So we'll have to be ready for it. And that's why, I'm tracking the charts on the channel and obviously the news, but primarily the charts. So stick around and subscribe and bell notification icon so that you can see it come up. Let's have a look down. Still holding Cotty, but there's a lot of FUD that's hard to ignore. That's just what happens every time. Markets will go nuts. This applies to any almost any cryptocurrency that you hold. It goes up. All of the good news makes sense. All of the bad news is called FUD and we hate you. Then the market reaches a peak, goes sideways, quite volatile because the smart money's getting out and it's pumping and dumping the coin, so people believe to stay in. This is all in, where's one of my books back here? Trading in the Shadows of the Smart Money. If you want to learn what the psychology is of the market, go and read that. Just don't listen to someone saying, yes, I do psychology of the market. That sort of stuff will tell you how it works with the insiders. Think about it. New money. Dogecoin, up. It dumps. Just in terms of the psychology of the market, the pattern, it dumps 20 cents to 20 cents, 25 cents, whatever. Then it pushes up from 20 cents to 30 cents. Wow, it gets on the first page because it's going up by 50%. Meanwhile, the money's gotten in at 5 cents, 6 cents, 8 cents, pushed it to 47 cents. They're selling out. All they have to do is sell out huge chunks, dumps the market because they're selling out, buy some back, run the price up again, sell it out again. So they're going to they might take some losses on those trades, but they need to get out of their position. That's how it works. That's why when people are like, oh my God, this coin's pumping, I'm like, look at the overall picture. You're getting screwed because you're just buying into bear market rallies. What's the surf like? It is pretty flat out there today. It's like a lake. The Pacific Ocean is a lake. I think we're the Coral Sea here. Anyway, Pacific Ocean. What do you look for when it's in the top of the market before it crashes? Many, many different things. It's easy in theory, but in practice, it's a lot harder. And I can look back to the previous cycle, and I definitely felt like something was coming to an end, but I didn't want to believe it. Now, I'm happy to be getting out on the way up and out after the top has come in. I don't know if the top is in 100%. I don't think anyone does. but you can start to get a feel for when it's the likelihood of that top being in. So I'm not saying 100% until it's in. You just can't know, but you can get this feeling and you can see things on the chart. Swings are an example. Time day counts. I'm looking at Bitcoin day counts. I'm just trying to think of things that I've already talked about on the channel rather than bringing up new ideas right now to a lot of new people, because it's not going to make sense. You got to look at the stuff day in, day out. And like I said, I've been doing it for about 11 years, and even I still have some problems, or I need to improve on what I'm seeing, because it takes practice. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of skill. So that's a couple of the simple things that I do look at. And then you can still be wrong. And then you have to know when to get back in. It's that simple. But in practice, like I said, it's a bit more challenging. I'm not going to sit here and say it's super easy. It's definitely not. And then the emotions start to play with you. That's why you need a plan. Badger Dow, long-term, sure. It's a Bitcoin DeFi type project. I don't know a lot about it, but that was one thing that I thought was a pretty interesting reason for it to be bullish on it. Yes, the price has halved from that breakout point. So for my trade, I had to exit, because that's part of the plan. I can't stay in it if it's going to continue to dump against me when it's a trade that I'm not convinced on long term, because I haven't done my research on the project. I just looked at it for a trade. Trade didn't work out. I exit and go and trade my money into another cryptocurrency. BTC. How's the volume coming through on the microphone? Sometimes I think I'm sitting too close and yelling into it. There you go. Trading in the shadow of the smart money. Price target for Odin. I'll have to look into it a little bit further. I just saw that their news came out that they released it. Their marketing is actually improving. This is for GODB. And they've now got their Odin token, which is the governance token, and the GODB was more of the platform, the currency token. Wow, my eyes are getting sore behind these lights. Sorry, guys. It's such a beautiful, bright day outside. Yes, my accent is Australian for sure. Sir, I am not answering you because you keep writing the same thing. Yesterday, Bitcoin low was 46. So I did hit my target of 46. I saw it at 47 something. All I was going to add to that is this the lowest it's going for the next few weeks? No one can tell you that. I don't want to be a twit or an ass about it. The low here was, I've got on Bitstamp 47,000, but yeah, call it 46, whatever it is. No one can tell you that. Sorry, Alana. The reason why I like to trade and use the strategies that I do is because I have target ideas in mind, and then I have patience. And I have patience that most other people don't have, and that's why I can make money in the market. Like you can see from my Bitcoin videos, which I put out for months now, and even in particular the last couple of weeks where I'm looking at targets, my target is around that 46K. I'm happy to put a little bit more in at around that point. If it goes lower, great, I can put some more in. In terms of your question, is this the lowest it's going for the next few weeks? I don't know, but I'm happy at that point because of what my metrics say, what my analysis says, and it can go lower and I'm not too concerned. And then I can just buy a little bit more. But I have the patience to run it out in case it does go lower. In case I buy at 46, it goes to 42, it stays in that zone for 3 weeks, 3 months, whatever, and then it starts to move away. I'm happy to have bought at those periods and I understand what's coming next. To recap, because that's the title of the video, and we've talked about it for the last hour and a half. So yeah, if you're just joining us, thank you very much. Be sure to like the video and subscribe. Join the free newsletter, Instagram, Twitter. There's so much that I put out there. In the bear market, no. I think long-term bull market, some of the cryptos, will be in a prolonged bear market. Long-term Bitcoin bull market, it is possible that Bitcoin stays below these levels for longer than people are willing to wait. And that is going to clear out the impatient people, the people who are coming here saying, what about this coin? What about this coin? What about this coin? Is the market dumping? That's going to get rid of those people because they will, and you might change. Maybe you're one of them. I'm not trying to pick on you, but maybe you'll change and start to see, hang on a minute, things aren't so bad. It's just needing to clear out those people and those ideas so that we can start to build again and then take off, build a foundation and then take off. So I hope that answers the bear market question. Alana, you are most welcome. Badger, we have talked about. Artie Cut, thank you. I could probably improve on them, but yeah, there's nothing there. Come on, I need to do some more curls rather than all this CrossFit. Antonio, wow, you called BTC price 3 weeks ago, #1 crypto channel. I mean, look, I can take that and boast with it, but at the end of the day, I could have been just as wrong as I was right, but I'm prepared either way. And when the market was coming to that peak point, like I put in the video before it crashed, and I was lucky that I got the video out in time because obviously I film it, I do my research, then I film it, then I edit it. So it takes some time until it comes out. And I just got lucky getting that video out in time as well. Yeah, that's why I see it with a lot of these with Bitcoin. It's a bit easier to track. Thoughts on Bitcoin Cash? Not a long-term investment. It is a terrible play against Bitcoin value. It continues to lose against Bitcoin value. Just look at a chart. Go and look at the BCH BTC pairing. That chart just, which way do I need to do it? Which way is, I don't know freaking which way I am. There you go. I give up. Anyway, it's down. It's been down since it came out. BTC, crypto Annalise. Back to Canggu. I don't know when I'm going to go back to Bali. I got friends at Crypto Tips, the other YouTube channel that I do a few collaborations with. They're over in, I don't know if they've mentioned it, but they're in Indonesia. They're in a really cool surfing spot. I don't know when I'll get back to Canggu. Obviously, I've got the baby now, 5 months old. Beth would love to go over to Bali. But yeah, we'll probably move home soon. So I won't have this office, and we'll move in hopefully a few weeks somewhere that I'm not going to hear the screaming of the baby in the background. 5-year prediction. Guys, what is your 5-year prediction? Let us know in the comments. I don't even know. What is helmet insurance? Am I missing like some random jokes here? Yeah, she has a little bit of crypto. Solana correction. I don't want to say yes or no to that. There will be a correction, but at what price, and then where will it correct to? That's a tough one because it's still going up. So it's a challenge to say where the top's going to be. I have price targets looking at fib extensions, and that's about all I can do at this point. Now, if I was WD Gann, I could probably give you a better idea, but I don't have his 50-something years of experience and his absolute precision dedication to his art. And who is WD Gann? The trader, the legendary Wall Street trader. Thoughts on KLV? Have you done any research on Clever? Nope, I have not. Sorry, I can't help you. Thank you for the super chats. NFT sector. I think we're definitely on the decline. The NFTs are definitely dropping. Doesn't mean they're over forever, but they need a cooling off. They just went like that. They just went straight up. This is just normal. I'm still not following. I must be online for too long. Back to $300. I doubt it. I reckon you're taking the piss. ETH price prediction, end of this bull run, if you had to make a prediction. if I had to make a prediction, I think we'll probably test 5 figures. Where are we at now? Right? We're at say 2,400, 2,500. I could possibly see, $8, $9, $10,000 ETH. You guys are crazy. I don't think you'll ever see a Bitcoin under 5 figures. I don't think we'll see a $20,000 Bitcoin again. Where do I think Bitcoin? At the best case, it'll be something in the mid to high 30s if you want to get a cheap one. This is like, I think it's kind of hard. Maybe like that's probably as low as it'll ever get. Oh, ETH prediction in BTC value. I honestly don't know. It's a hard one. I've been looking at those charts. Probably like what does 0.1 give us? 0.16 will flip it. I don't know. It's somewhere between like a 10 and 20%. 10 and 20% Bitcoin value. Cool. Lowest price ever again. Ideas, VeChain. VeChain is pumped a lot. Reef I haven't seen too much of. Reef is just, VeChain is pumped a lot by a lot of new channels. You sort of see like new people coming on. They've, maybe they had a couple of years experience trading before making it onto YouTube, and they're in the crypto space. Maybe they got onto the tail end of 2017. Maybe they're here, and they talk about VeChain a lot. It's got a real, what's the word? It's kind of like the Cardano army and the XRP army. It's a lot of these people who believe like a 1 cent coin will make them a millionaire at some point. That's what I know about VeChain. That's what I hear, and that sort of puts me off, which is why I've never looked into it too much. I just know it's obviously it's chain. It's a supply chain crypto. It's got a good narrative to it. I honestly don't know much more about it. I'll have to do a bit more deep diving. I can talk about it high level, but in terms of really deep understanding, I don't have that. And I'm just being honest with you. I'd prefer to stick to stuff like Solana and the smart contracts and DeFi. DeFi it's where my interest lies, because it's more like getting out of the banking system and looking after your own banking. I would love some more that's a bit more safe, like a DeFi that you can safely hold your cryptos with. Can Doge touch that $1 mark? Maybe, but it's sort of I'm back. Sorry. I hit back on the window. Anyway, we're back. Sorry, guys. George loves vet. It's an easy narrative, It's just like, it's a supply chain so people can sort of understand it. It's a very low market cap. It has a very big audience already, and it's very easy to talk about online. VeChain is very easy to talk about online. Cardano is very easy to talk about online. XRP is very easy to talk about online. So if the marketing behind it is very easy, it makes it easy for people to buy. That's how these sort of things work. Think about SafeMoon. It makes the average person can talk about SafeMoon so easily. Lost you. Yeah, we did. I'm back. Are you following? Do you see what I'm saying with these projects? If they can get that as part of their project, it's very easy. SafeMoon prediction, it'll crash. That's my prediction. It'll go up. People will talk about it a hell of a lot, and then it will crash. It'll make people probably to make them a ton more money. Get scam coin, said the Chinese. Why isn't anyone talking about FLR and LTC and the 5 billion FLR pool? Because I don't think anyone really cares. But if the markets take off, then people will start talking about it. What are your top 5 current investments? Have you all got your pens and paper and your Binance accounts open? Speaking of accounts, SwiftX, if you guys are in Australia, link to that should be down below. SwiftX in Oz, and then a backup one is CoinSpot. I don't think I've got a link to those down below, but I'll get a link for you guys and then leave that down below. All right, top 5. Guess. You put it in the side here. What's the top 5 that you hear me talk about a lot? Who's talking about AMP? I just think of the Aussie stock, which is a piece of crap. It's the worst stock you could ever be in. Gemini. I mean, what is the pump here? 27% from the close. So if you bought it at the close yesterday and are selling it now, you're up 27%. See, this doesn't excite me so much. It could do well, but what I would do is do my measuring. So low to high to major low. It's already run exactly 100%. See how well this? Look at that. This is the second time you've watched me do that in the stream today. This exact price range literally repeated exactly and then failed. It's off by a fraction, by a small percentage. And literally from that absolute low to the absolute top is, see here, 100. These markets tend to have very similar price ranges as they've already put in. Oh, sorry, you didn't even see it. I didn't have the chart open. I'll show you because I said I would, and then we'll wrap. All right, so that's the chart there, guys. Sorry. AMP, this is the tool. Extreme low, extreme high to the next correction low. It's run exactly 100%. And then it corrected. Very strong correction. That's what I look for as well. You're sort of asking about signs at the end of a market. I don't need to look at the exact end, but it's more just like where might this market find some price resistance? And it's done almost 100%. And so you're not really surprised when you get a correction. And then it corrected almost dead on the 61%. And now it's trying again. It's going. The volume is lower than what we saw at this high, but this doesn't look too bad. I said it's probably not for me at this stage. And it might do well. I actually don't even know what the market cap is. I have no idea what AMP is. It just sounds like another one that is beginning to be hyped up because everyone's talking about it. So it's $582 million market cap. New digital collateral token offering instant verifiable assurances for any kind of value transfer. Using AMP networks like Flexer can quickly and irreversibly secure transactions for a wide variety of asset-related use cases. All right, so people are buying on Gate.io, Bittrex, Poloniex, Uniswap, Gemini. There you go. There's a free shout out for the AMP holders. Sweet, guys. Let's wrap that up. We've been online nearly 2 hours. Thank you very much. Like the video if you haven't already. Don't go anywhere. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Bell notification icon. Follow me on Instagram. Daily Q&A. If you wanted more Q&A, go over to Instagram. Link is down below. The story is up on Instagram where you can go in and ask questions there. Twitter, you can follow over there as well. Getting pretty good results over there. So that's nice to see. Updating you guys with news and reposts of important stuff that I see. And free newsletter. So join the free newsletter down below. Again, link there. You'll just see it. Join free newsletter. Boom. Investor Accelerator. If you want to learn more, all of the trading stuff that I've been going through here, come on. Link is down below as well. But if you want to just follow along for a bit, join the free newsletter and you'll see that. We'll talk about some more of this stuff in future live streams. An hour 50 is a very long time. So let's see if I can bring them down to about a 45-minute live stream. We'll make these sustainable for everyone watching and do a little Q&A at the end. Maybe similar to Cryptos Are Us, a bit of old George style, a nice 30, 40-minute live stream and do them more regularly. What do you guys think? More regular live streams? Or you love it? I'm going to do regular videos as well. I love those as well. But yeah, check out the videos that I've mentioned already in today's stream. They would help out a lot, especially if you are worried about a crypto bear market. Get your plan in order. So we've talked about that many, many times over. Went through Bitcoin, went through Ethereum, went through heaps of coins, went through the news. What else did we go through? We went through the Solana ecosystem, which I'm going to do a video on, a dedicated video, because it's looking very strong. So if you want to get a leg up on that, go out and look at Solana now. Part of the ecosystem is Serum, which is its DEX, Radium. FTT is not exactly Solana. However, FTT is owned by Sam, and I believe Sam's research company, Alameda Research, which is the investment company, has invested and helped Solana in some way or another. I've got that written down. I'm going to go and do more of my own research there. But that's how they're all intertwined, essentially, is what I was getting at. Soul Starter, platform where you'd have people coming on board using Solana to promote their projects. Fantastic times. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. You are most welcome. Are these live chats saved? Yes, everything you see on the sidebar where you guys are typing, I have to select a setting in YouTube, and they should all be saved over on YouTube. So if you wanted to go back and watch this, you can. If any of you wanted to put down the timestamps down below and they were accurate, maybe I could say thank you. Well, I will say thank you, but maybe there'll be some little gift there. We'll see. We'll see. Because there's a lot of work there. You got to go through 2 hours and get the timestamps. I don't have the time for that at the moment. I'm sorry. I'm just glad that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm putting out. Did you already buy something? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Solana is pumping because of Kin. Okay. Cheers again. Go have a surf. Thank you. Discord. No, I don't have a Discord. Discord no longer up. I don't have a Discord. Top channel, you're welcome. Speaking of staking, I've got Cardano staking coming up. I just got to get back to some of the paperwork to set up the staking pool, and then I can let you guys know about that. You know my position on Cardano. I talk about it so often in terms of the potential price increase. I don't allow. I tell you my thoughts, whether you want to hear them or not, about Cardano and my true thoughts on it. I think the project will increase in value. I think the staking rewards are good. It's your 5% or so. In terms of what's developing on it, that's questionable. That's my clear position every single time. Doesn't mean I wouldn't be buying it and putting some aside to stake with. You're welcome. Karen from the Philippines, you are welcome. Nice work. All right, guys. If you haven't liked it already, what are you waiting for? Go and like the channel up. Yeah, subscribe. All the links are down below. I will say goodbye now. Hour 53. I was just enjoying being online with for a little longer with you guys. Life is good, and I'm about to head out and see some of the sunlight out here for another beautiful autumn day. Cheers, guys. I'll end the broadcast, and I'll see you very soon on another video and potentially some more live streams, which I am hoping to do a little earlier. I'll do some research. Come on, do a live stream with you guys. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it a lot. So I hope you have too. And if you have, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Peace out until next time. Until then, this side, have more fun to get more done.